thank you for being here with us today, and we're gonna do this in English. So let's dive right into it. We are here to discuss the latest coffee trend. So, what do you think the latest coffee trend is? Mr. Scott, you want to go first?
I think the latest coffee trend is about more like people want to know more about stories behind coffee, like such as they want to know like where we actually source coffee from and like how we can actually brew it in the best way. So I see more people having like really high-end equipment at home to brew their own coffee. So instead of like just buying finished product, people start purchasing like very expensive equipment at home, and then they consume their coffee. They want to know more about the knowledge and what's going on in the farm, how the farmers process the coffee.
That's a very interesting approach because the way I see it that yes, customers demand more and more high quality coffee. They want to know more about the originality of the beans. But you also include about the home brewer that people want to brew their own cup of coffee to meet up their own kind of standard. Do you think that's gonna hurt the coffee shop out there?
Yeah, pretty much, because like that's why we need more dedicated and great coffee shop out there to compete with this like so-called prosumer, because they know more about coffee, even more than like normal baristas, and we need to study more. We need to have more conversation how to produce coffee, and then like even this like prosumer will come to our coffee shop to enjoy more and get more information, to listen to our stories. So it's gonna hurt the industry for a short time, but I think in long term it's gonna make us or like encourage us to learn more about coffee.
Thank you, Scott. Do you agree with that?
Anh cũng hơi đồng tình một tí. Thực ra trước khi mình nói về cái trend ấy, từ sáng giờ mình nghe rất nhiều từ trend nhưng mình chưa định nghĩa được trend là gì.
Okay, I'm going to do the live translator here. So we've been talking about trends a lot, but we haven't really defined trends.
Trend là cái gì? What is trend? In your opinion?
It's very hard question. Like trend is like a culture, like how people consume coffee. So it's not like something that someone like just leading the trend. Like there should be some kind of follower to make the trend complete. So right now I think the trend is actually like I said, like people want to know more about it, and then they have enough money to purchase expensive equipment at home, and then they're gonna start knowing more about how to brew coffee, how to enjoy coffee. So it's kind of became some kind of trend, especially in like in Korea and other like specialty coffee consuming countries.
Yeah, so I think you define like trend is like a natural demand that grow from the current condition, the current state, the current supply that the customer get, and also from a change in living situation, in culture, a shift in that.
Yeah.
So, does that answer your question?
Thực ra với mình ý, thì trend là một thứ gì khi đang là trend thì thứ mà mọi người đều nói đến hoặc mọi người đều muốn làm nó thì nó thành trend. Còn với một người làm sản phẩm như mình ý, thì hoặc là values based thì mình sẽ thấy là một thứ mà khi mà nhiều người nói đến hoặc nhiều người đang làm mà mình bắt đầu làm thì nó quá trễ rồi. Cho nên là mình sẽ không quan tâm quá nhiều về cái trend hiện tại đang là gì. Tất nhiên sẽ có rất nhiều người dân mạng hay gọi là giỏi đu trend, họ biết vào lúc nào và họ ra lúc nào. Thế có những người có những kỹ năng như thế.
So I will speak is that if something already become a trend, then it's already kind of late for other coffee shop owner to jump in, because people already doing it, and there might good at timing. They know when to get in, they know when to get out. But for a product-focused kind of coffee shop, you wouldn't really care about trend too much, and you're just gonna pursuing your value, your classic value, and you would provide a value that's gonna last despite trends. Am I right?
Thực ra thì cái cốt lõi nhất của cái trend đó là gì? Thực ra nó là một cái giải pháp, một cái creative innovation nào đấy. Mà cuối cùng là để giải quyết một vấn đề gì đấy. Mà khi mà cách giải quyết vấn đề mình đủ hay mà nhiều người nhắc đến và nhiều người làm theo thì tự nhiên nó thành trend.
Okay, so a trend is a creative solution that's gonna solve a problem for the mass, and if you solve that problem good enough, then people are gonna follow you. So, what do you think? To follow up with that, what do you think is the problem in the coffee industry right now that in search of a creative solution?
Thực ra với ngành thì chắc là mình sẽ nói sau, tại vì thực ra nó cũng hơi ngoài mình một chút. Còn cụ thể với Refine thì mình có cách đây 2 năm mình đã bắt đầu với một vấn đề rất rõ ràng là vấn đề nhân xanh. Đây là vấn đề nguyên liệu đầu vào ấy, lúc đấy mình không có quá nhiều nguyên liệu vào. Thì giải pháp của mình lúc đấy là mình tìm xách ba lô lên Tây Nguyên thôi, thì tìm được một thứ gọi là pha robusta. Thì bọn mình cũng kiên trì làm cũng hơn 2 năm rồi. Thì thực ra một cách may mắn là bây giờ lại thành một thứ đang trending, không chỉ ở Việt Nam mà còn trên thế giới. Thế ví dụ như gần đây thì các bạn có thể thấy là các cái công ty cà phê rất là lớn như kiểu Blue Bottle ấy, họ đã bắt đầu sử dụng pha robusta vào trong các sản phẩm của họ rồi. Và rất nhiều người nhắc đến pha robusta. Sau đấy nữa, sau khi bọn mình làm pha robusta một hồi rồi thì mình lại thấy là nó có điểm mạnh nhưng mà nó có điểm yếu. Thì đấy mình lại đi tìm cách mình xử lý các điểm yếu của nó. Thì solution của mình lúc đấy là blend. Mình tìm cách mang những thứ sexy, các thứ tươi đẹp khác vào để mình hài hòa lại cái điểm yếu của pha robusta. Thế là năm ngoái bọn mình bắt đầu làm blend. Thì tình cờ blend cũng đang là một cái trending với các nhà rang trên thế giới hiện tại.
So, do you think pha robusta right now the current trend?
I think it's not a current trend, but it's something that's coming for the future. That's why, like Lacàph decided to export fine robusta green beans to Korea this year, and there are some like companies and roasteries who are looking for fine robusta. They don't have like much experience and information about fine robusta from Vietnam. And also even like Vietnamese market, I don't see a lot of fine robusta consumers here. So that's something that like a company like us and Refine can kind of promote together to develop the coffee industry in Vietnam.
Yeah, because as Tu shared that on his personal quest to achieve a good cup of coffee, he went in search of green beans, and when he's on the search for green beans, he accidentally find fine robusta, and then only 2 years later, right now, it's kind of a up and coming trend in the market. I can see it's not for the mass yet, but everyone who focused on coffee is starting to talk about it, and but even fine robusta or back then even fine arabica, they are not perfect, right? There are still some flavor notes that you cannot achieve. So actually people are turning into blend. So what do you think about customized blend? I started to see it in every other high quality coffee shop. Is that the new standard that you have your customized blend? Instead of just have high quality beans imported from other place. What do you think?
Because in the past, coffee companies blended coffee to kind of minimize the cost. They use the most expensive coffee, just like a little bit in the blend and blend it with like some cheap coffee together and named it with the expensive coffee. But right now, like blended coffee is totally different. Like we also have like 3 core blends, and these are actually to make the blends more perfect for the brewing ratio. I think like other coffee roasteries are same, like they want consistency. So like us, we source our green bean directly from our partner farms, but some like roasteries in other countries, it's very hard to find the similar flavor. to make their own blends. So they need to actually, select 4 or 5 different coffee to make the blend to be more consistent.
So actually the purpose kind of changed, right?
Yeah.
Before they do it to reduce the cost, but now they do it to improve the flavors. Do you agree with that?
Agree, yeah.
And do you also do customized blend yourself, right?
Thực ra năm nay thì mình làm rất nhiều blend. Thế đó là kết quả nghiên cứu cả năm ngoái rồi. Thì năm nay cũng mới mở một cửa hàng mới và chỉ focus vào chuyện làm blend thôi. Mang những cái hạt hoặc là những cái flavor rất kỳ lạ trên thế giới về và cố gắng là làm sao để chúng nó đứng cạnh được với nhau mà không tranh cãi nhau nhiều, hài hòa được với nhau trong một cốc cà phê.
So he said that Refi is focused on doing customized blends right now. And he tried to bring all the newest, all the interesting, even all the weirdest flavor in the world to create an interesting cup of coffee. And as I recall, you have some very expensive cup of coffee, right? So can you share about your price range in the menu?
Cốc nhiều tiền nhất thì là 2.023.000.
So he just said he have a $100 cup of coffee.
Wow.
And at the price range, you also have some $5 cup of coffee, right? $10 cup of coffee. I'm curious about that as well, because I don't think that it was possible if you do that about 3-5 years ago, that people would not accept that price for a cup of coffee. But now actually people are paying for that. So what do you think you're serving there besides flavors? Why are people willing to pay for an expensive cup of coffee?
It's more about like paying for like the experience. It's not for the flavors. Like if you actually taste like, like geisha from Panama, it's amazing, but it's not like worth paying for like a $15 per cup. But people want to actually purchase that experience because the amount is limited. So like it's actually a good lesson for coffee producers that we don't have to produce a lot. Sometimes we need to limit ourselves to produce and a little bit more focus on quality.
And do you and Lacàph Korea gonna go in that direction as well? Do you aim to serve a more expensive cup of coffee with a more premium, more exquisite experience, or you aim to serve a more affordable but very consistent and to some more quantity of customer?
Like even we sell like fine robusta at like more expensive than like the normal Vietnamese coffee is a lot cheaper than specialty Arabica coffee in Korea. So like we're not trying to sell more expensive coffee. Like our first step is actually to introduce premium Vietnamese coffee to the world. Because like if you actually travel around the world, you cannot really find like diversity of premium Vietnamese coffee. So like last year we introduced our coffee and some other like premium Vietnamese coffee to Korean coffee drinkers, and they never actually experienced that. Yeah, because like if like foreigners come to Vietnam, they usually go to street cafe or like some brunch cafe, and there are not many premium Vietnamese coffee available in Vietnam as well. Because like also in local market, like when we try to sell, supply our coffee beans to, restaurants and bar, the pricing is actually the big issue. And we're not trying to overcharging the price. It's actually a lot better quality, and farmers also put more effort to processing. So that's why we want to bring more people to coffee farm and then like show them how hard to process the coffee.
And it's been a year, right?
Yeah.
So how's it going now? How is it now? Are people taking the coffee more regularly? Are they used to it?
We have more followers, and we have more supporters. And also we have some like media related to coffee that came to Vietnam also. So we arranged the trip to visit our partner farms in Vietnam. And this year I want to bring more coffee people, like coffee roasteries, to Vietnam to see how like fine robusta is like, you know, more superior to like normal robusta for like instant coffee.
Yeah. And from you, who is doing fine robusta and customized blend right now, where do you see it going?
Mình thì anh ấy nghĩ là thế giới đã bắt đầu chú ý đến nó rồi. Và bây giờ càng nhiều người đang làm nó. Mỗi tội họ đang tò mò cái đoạn là nấu nó như nào, rang nó như thế nào. Tại vì nó giống như là con cá ấy. Không phải tất cả con cá đều có thể nấu như nhau. Arabica sẽ cần rang khác và Robusta cần một kiểu rang khác. Bản thân lúc anh đi học các lớp Q-Grader thì bản thân thầy cũng đang đi dạy cho những người châu Âu cách rang hạt Robusta. Cho nên là cũng phải cần thời gian một chút trước khi đến được với cà phê, trước khi đến được với home brewer thì những bạn nhà rang, những người mua bán nhân xanh họ phải được hiểu biết hơn về pha Robusta đã. Nhưng mà ít nhất ở giai đoạn này là họ đã bắt đầu chú ý đến nó rồi. Họ đã nghĩ đến nó, đây là một thứ hạt có hương vị và hoàn toàn có thể là hương vị tốt chứ không phải những hương vị tiêu cực, hoặc không phải là chỉ là một thứ hạt để mình có thể lấy để extract caffeine. Đó. Thì họ đã đến cái đoạn là có sự chú ý và họ đang bắt tay vào tìm hiểu nó rồi, nghiêm túc. Và thực ra là cũng đã có các sản phẩm về Robusta rồi.
So you say right now, people are already paying attention to fine robusta, but people are not really expert at handling them. They're still learning how to roast them, how to use them, how to bring out the best flavors in them. So it's going to take some time, but we are taking the first step. We can recognize that people are paying attention to fine robusta, and we in Vietnam has an advantage to grow on that, to develop that, and to export that more than we did before, the more premium robusta bean. So I would like to ask you a little bit more about the coffee shop industry. You both are opening coffee shop, right? And you both aim to expand to have more coffee shop in the future. But the market right now is really, really competitive. So how do you think that you can stay ahead and can survive when each day, I think, no less than 100 new coffee shops opening every day, every single day? So, do you want to go first?
Thực ra thì mình có thể thấy rất nhiều hàng cà phê đang mở ra. Nhưng mà như anh Scott vừa nói là những cái hàng chất lượng cao thì sao? Thì theo góc nhìn của anh thì ngành cà phê Việt Nam đang ở cái đoạn bắt đầu thôi. Cái ngành mà chất lượng cao đang bắt đầu thôi. Nếu mà mình nhìn vào Thái Lan khoảng 3-5 năm trước không có quá nhiều specialty cà phê, không có quá nhiều quán mà có thể bán cái cốc cà phê 400-500 nghìn. Nhưng bây giờ mình đến Bangkok là thấy có chắc cũng phải gần chục quán rồi. Thì ở Việt Nam thì mình nghĩ chắc 3 đến 4 năm nữa thì nó sẽ bắt đầu. Nên tương lai vẫn đang ở đấy.
Okay. So your idea is to focus on a high quality coffee shop and to provide a premium and unique experience so that the other mass coffee shop cannot compete with you. How about you, Scott? How's Lacàph doing?
Lacàph has no coffee shop. We're not like cafe brand. We're coffee brand. So our space is not really meant to become a coffee shop. It's a place where people can actually, you know, listen to the stories of farmers and the history of Vietnamese coffee, and they can also enjoy Vietnamese coffee together, learn how to make Vietnamese coffee so that they can actually bring the story back to their countries or their home, and you know, also they can be the storyteller of Vietnamese coffee. So we don't want to expand our business as like just opening so many coffee shops, but we're planning to open Lacàph space where you can actually enjoy the experience session per big city. So one in Hanoi and one in Seoul, something like that.
So I can take that you two actually have something in common, that you both focus on create a very unique experience. Yes. It's not just another coffee shop. It's not just another place people can come and get an averagely good cup of coffee, but they can learn something. They can learn from the farm, or they can have a unique flavor that they cannot find anywhere else. And at the both your store, I believe they're gonna have pretty good service so that they can deliver the experience that you want the customer to have, right? And I honestly believe that's the way to go. That's the way to really create a difference, focus on what you are strong at, and then just do good at it.